These are my FIFA 23 custom tactics, and I'm going to show you how to use them. Now, I'm going to show you my 4 favorite formations, and I'm going to tell you when I use them and why I use them. So let's start with the first formation, and this is a formation that I start with. It is something that was very good last year, and I believe it is very good this year. It is the 4-3-2-1, and it is the truth. I'm telling you, I'm liking this formation a lot at the minute, and it's something a little bit different as well, because I feel like we're seeing 4-2-2 and 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1 everywhere, but I'm actually enjoying the 4-3-2-1. So let's have a look. It is balanced defensive style. We've got 44 width, 64 depth. Now, the reason behind these is I'm a little bit weird, and I don't really like them being on 65 or 45, so I just reduced them 1 each. The whole point is, in defense, you want it narrow as usual. You don't want your players on the byline when you're defending. And the depth is pretty high, but not too high, because as we know in FIFA 23, through balls are absolutely mental. So you don't want to be too high and be too exposed, but at the same time, I like to press, so we're going 64 depth. It's a decent balance. Now, in offense or attack, for you normal people, it is build-up play, balanced, and we have direct passing back again. It doesn't have the same impact as it had last year, but I'm telling you, it's still decent. Width is 56, fairly balanced. I don't feel like it's a formation to have players bombing out wide all the time. It's actually a fairly narrow formation, so I'm currently playing 56. The reason being is because I do want some shots outside the box. The Trivellas are very, very good outside the box, so I don't want everyone too narrow to the point you can't get the angle. Spread them out a little bit, get a nice angle, and then get them shots off. Players in the box is at 5. I would always recommend to do this the way you want to do it, because if you have too many, you might be open to a counter-attack. You have too little, and you won't have many options. So I've gone for 5, although this can change at any point, because it depends on how I'm playing at the time. Corners and free kicks are 2. These are always 2, and they will remain 2, because I don't know how to figure the corners just yet. But what I would say about corners and free kicks is, realistically, you don't need 4 or 5, because your player will get ahead to it either way. The instructions for the 4-3-2-1 is where it massively matters, and these are very, very important. Now, I know what you're thinking. I could use any formation in the game and win games here. Obviously, I have an unbelievable squad. To be honest, I don't have much of an argument there, but what I would say is this formation is very good for short passing. Now, my understanding is you don't have to have a good team for short passes to work. If anything, if you're playing with a bad team, it actually helps to have your players closer together. And that is the case in 4-3-2-1. So, goalkeeper, no instructions. Lucio and Militao on stay back whilst attacking. Mendy on stay back whilst attacking overlap. And Walker on balanced overlap. There is good reason for this that I will explain when we get to the strikers, but these can change depending on how you set up. So keep listening, because this can get a little bit complicated. But let's hop into midfield. My DM, my most defensive midfielder, goes at centre mid, and he's on stay back whilst attacking and cover centre. Now, this is where it all starts to get a little bit mixy. De Bruyne is my other centre mid, so he is on stay back, cover centre. Because the beauty of this formation is it actually defends in a 4-4-2 if you set up the player instructions right. So what I'm doing here is putting these two as my centre midfielders. I'm putting Dembele on balanced cover wing. So in defence, he's going to come back in and be the left midfielder. And then we go up to Ginola, and he's on comeback on defence. So what this is going to do is create a 4-4-2 in defence, with Ginola at right midfield, De Bruyne and Yaya Toure in centre midfield, and Dembele at left midfield. Now, you can change what fullback it overlaps, depending on what you want to do. The reason I've gone for Walker is because I wanted De Bruyne in at centre mid. I didn't want him defending at right mid. But you might have a different set of players to me. You might have a really good left back that goes forward well. So if you put him on, all you have to do is make sure that you put Mendy on balanced, or your left back on balanced, but then your left forward has to be on comeback on defence. So basically, long story short, it's just reverse roles. What you're seeing here with Ginola, De Bruyne and Walker, you actually just swap it for your other 3, your left forward, your left centre mid and your left back. It will set up in the same way. You'll still be able to defend in 4-4-2, but the difference being it'll be a different set of players actually coming back. Let's wrap up the instructions. We have stay central on Neymar as my left forward. This means that it defends in a 4-4-2 because he goes up front when we're defending, and then Mbappe is on stay central as well. Now, another tip on how to play the 4-3-2-1, you want to be using your 3 centre midfielders a lot. It's good for close passing. You normally dominate someone in midfield as well. It matches up pretty nicely. And you also want to use your overlapping fullback, because when you get it there, you can come back inside, recycle in either to the centre mid, play it to the forwards, or you can use the centre mids to create an overload. Formation number 2, and a real big favourite in FIFA 23, it is the 4-2-2. We've seen a lot of it, and I think we will continue to see it. Until the Trivellas get patched, this will be staying. So let's have a quick look. Defensive style balanced, 45-65. Balanced direct passing, 60. 4 players in the box, corners, free kicks, you know all the jazz. Let's look at the instructions. The keeper on nothing again. Centre back, stay back. The fullbacks on stay back and overlap. We're not going to be using the overlapping fullback in this formation. Now, the CDMs, we have them on cut passing lanes. I feel like the way the game works, you want to cut the passing lanes instead of pressing as much. Stay back whilst attacking and cover centre. So they always cover the centre backs first. The other centre mid on balanced attack. I always like having one going forward. This is our attacking midfielder. In this case, it's Kevin De Bruyne. Right attacking mid. Now, the advice for this is your right attacking mid is right-footed. Your left attacking mid is left-footed. The reason being, it opens up them Trivella shots. We've seen them everywhere. But there's been a weekend league now. We know how good they are. They're on comeback on defence, getting the box for cross for both of them. And then the strikers are on getting behind, stay central, and stay forward. Now, you're probably thinking, what is the thought process? Why are we doing this? Let me tell you. Stay central is because they are 2 strikers. You don't want them going out wide. Getting behind is because of how effective through balls are. You want quick strikers, maybe even lengthy strikers that can run in behind. And then stay forward because, as it will previously in the last formation, it will end up defending in a 4-4-2 once again. Now, we've covered the 2 balanced formations, so let me show you the formation on what you're going to use when you want to hold on to a lead. If you played FIFA 23, you know constant pressure is broken. It is so effective, which makes it even harder to hold on to a lead. With these tactics, I think we're on to a winner though. And I can't believe I'm doing this because I've made a stance for this for the last 2 weeks. But it is indeed a 5 at the back.
Let's just hold on.
None of this 5 at the back nonsense.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
But you've got to do it sometimes, especially when you're holding on to a lead. But there is reason for it, and we will talk about it as we go on. Here are the tactics. They're balanced, 45-65. It's balanced and balanced this time because we're trying to keep the ball. With 45 players in the box for corners, free kicks on 1 because we are holding onto a lead. The instructions are where this gets juicy and is where I actually like the formation a lot because it's not as defensive as you might first think. We have 3 centre-backs all on stay back as usual. The wing-backs are on join the attack overlap. Now, the reason for this is when you're playing out the press, you want to be able to switch the ball as high up the pitch as possible. I hate playing out the press with my defenders. The best way of playing out the press is moving forward and using your better players. So the wing-backs are on join the attack. The centre midfielders are both on stay back whilst attacking cover centre. But the cam is where things are a little bit different. You're probably thinking he's going to sit back as well. He's actually on stay forward. Now, what this does is obviously you've got your defensive set up anyway. You've got 5 at the back, you've got 2 centre mids. But what a cam does is he can actually provide another option going forward because when you've only got 2 strikers, you're going to get caught. But if you can bounce it off the cam who's right next to him, it will work pretty nicely. And then obviously it creates the options where the wing backs then overlap and go absolutely crazy as well. I feel like I'm playing Football Manager here, honestly. The level of tactics that goes into FIFA right now is crazy. But the 2 strikers are on absolutely nothing. But the aim with this tactic is to get it into centre mids and use the wing backs and then use through balls to the strikers to get out. You want to be playing through balls to either your striker or your right wing back or your left wing back and then play higher up the pitch. Do not dick about with the centre backs. That is your one and only warning from me. You will get caught. You want to use the wing backs, you want to use the centre mids, and you want to get forward. And if you lose the ball, it's not the end of the world. You lose the ball with your centre backs, it's all over. Now the final formation is your all out, your gung ho, your kitchen sink, whatever you want to call it. We are going all out. Constant press, 4-2-4, 50 width, 80 depth, fast build up, direct passing, 50 width. You know what? You can put players in the box to 7, you can put it to 10. Do whatever you want. You're trying to get a goal here. Now, the instructions, nothing on the goalkeeper or the centre-backs. Again, the full-backs are now on join the attack. They are getting involved. Feel free to put both of these on overlap or mixed attack. I normally have them on overlap, so we'll keep them at that. The centre mids are on balanced attack. The reason being for that, I'd rather just keep them as a 2. I don't really like the mismatch of having one forward and one not when we're chasing a game because you've got so many attackers in front of them anyway. Just keep them as a 2 there. They will get forward. They're also on cover wing because obviously they now have to cover a lot more ground. You have no wingers helping you out. these are all staying forward as much as they can. The wingers, just on basic for everything apart from get in the box for cross. Feel free to change these. My only thing with keeping them to stay forward is as soon as they play out your press, you're going to have no options at all. And that's not very good. Two strikers, stay central, get in behind, stay forward. As I said last time, you can use them through balls, or if you can use them on the centre-backs, then we should all be good. But you know how it is really just gung-ho. Just go all at them. If you want to put your depth higher, feel free. You might want to adjust the width every now and then, but in a 4-2-4, you should really have enough options anyway going forward, because no passes really go backwards at this point. Build-up is not really a thing. But the aim of this formation, just pass it forward. Don't have to do everything at 100 miles an hour. You can still have a bit of control, but obviously trying to get the ball forward around the box and cause some mayhem. These are my favourite 4 formations in FIFA 23. I hope they've helped you out today. If they have, make sure you leave a like and also smash that subscribe button, because I am actually going to be doing a lot more of this year.